All right, everybody, it is just past 11, so we can go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Kellyanne, and I'm the Digital Marketing Specialist at BCD. Today, we are joined by our partners at NVIDIA and IronYun to discuss the impact that AI solutions can have on your business and how BCD, NVIDIA, and IronYun have partnered together to create pre-vetted bundled solutions that are designed to simplify your experience selling AI to your customers and help you win more business. So without further ado, I will pass it off to our presenters to introduce themselves and get us started.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, I'm Sarah Todd. I'm at NVIDIA as Product Marketing Manager for our Vision AI solution called Metropolis. And then we're also partnering with BCD on this really great go-to-market motion, which we'll be talking about today.
Thanks for that, Sarah. I'm Dan O'Mahony. I'm the Director of Revenue Operations here at BCD. Excited to be joining this wonderful group with today's webinar. And Doug, let's pass it over to you to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Dan. I'm Doug Hammer, Vice President of Marketing with IronYun. I've been with IronYun for almost 4 years now, and it's really exciting to see AI getting all this attention in the market and to present today on how you guys can capitalize on it.
Perfect, thanks. So I think I can start us off. So just so everyone knows, there is a Q&A window. We'd love to get questions as the presentation's going, so one of us three can answer as we go, and then hopefully there's time at the end to cover more questions verbally as well. So yeah, we're going to just start off with me today. We're going to be talking about AI video analytics or Vision AI, as you'll hear me reference. And then my role here is to just basically allow you to understand the opportunity that exists in the space and what we're seeing firsthand from an NVIDIA perspective. And then we'll be going into these validated solutions that BCD offers, as Kelly had mentioned, and then we'll start wrapping up with an IronYun demo and an explanation about why IronYun is such a prized ISV to work with. And then we'll start wrapping up and we'll get to some questions and answers. So without further ado, I think we can get started. Okay, so like I said, my role here is to basically walk you through the opportunity that exists. And here what you're looking at is a myriad of spaces where we encourage automation, where AI is already thriving. And what we're really seeing is nearly every end customer, they have important physical operations and assets where there's an opportunity to save costs or deliver better service, improve safety and operational efficiency. Yeah, these end customers, high value physical assets. So like think in a factory, there would be those all of those machineries. Those are like physical assets. If you're looking at roadways and you have a city as a customer, you're looking at the roads, the infrastructure, the lights on the street, but also the processes and also their current, maybe crumbling infrastructure. Everything is under intense pressure to perform better, increase safety for people that share these spaces. And in the use cases that you're seeing here, think of it as like dollar bills flowing through very constrained physical processes. It's very expensive. And to manage these spaces intelligently, they require better measurement, all with the goal of automating these processes. And this is kind of where NVIDIA and our AI segment has stepped in. The sensor to use here is the video camera for Vision AI use cases. In all of these kind of industries that you're looking at, it leverages security for safety and operational efficiency. It uses cameras. It uses various sensors, IoT sensors. And with about 1 billion cameras deployed worldwide, we can understand that, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity in this space. But before I go on, I just want to explain when we're talking about video, when we're talking about the storage and the processing of data, it's a very compute intensive problem, and it leverages a lot of storage, making it kind of the perfect sales opportunity to sell Vision AI into current customers who are already on your Rolodex, or selling into a new customer, a net new. So if we'll continue on, this is from our research team. And what we're seeing, and I bet you didn't come to this presentation thinking that you'd learn about pixels, but I'll make it really fast. So we're seeing a massive trend. The market has continued trending towards higher resolution cameras. As I'm sure you're aware, all of our cameras have gone so much better. And in 2022, 50% of the cameras shipped had resolutions higher than 4 megapixels. So the reason that's important is, for reference, in like 2016, so only a couple of years back, the standard camera would just be about 2. So it's more than doubled in improving image quality. And then also it's increasing adoption as a multi-sensor camera. So if you heard that properly, really what I want you to take away isn't like a knowledge about pixels. I want you to take away there's exploding camera demand, cameras with larger resolutions, which equals a huge opportunity. If there's more pixels, there's more compute, more storage. It requires more equipment sales, and there's a demand out there. Somebody has to sell it, so we're hoping that it's you. So here we're going to teach you how to do that, and to just show you that we've been doing it with our ISV partners like IronYun, and through really great partners like BCD. So yeah, so if we're going to continue on, I wanted to show you a video that we've put together. We might not get through the whole thing, but here you'll see actual deployments that NVIDIA partners are doing in smart spaces. So it's a combination of software vendors, hardware partners, but basically NVIDIA GPUs are nurturing an ecosystem of AI. And these enabled applications are giving superhuman vision and perception to those who manage our roads, our stores. I'm sure that you've seen the Amazon Go stores, our airports. This is all to understand with incredible detail how our spaces are actually being used, how they're being utilized, what's happening currently. So like 24/7, being able to understand what's happening, but then also how do we improve on what happens next? This is building on the existing sensors, the 1 billion cameras deployed that I had mentioned. And up until now, they've really been massively underused. The scale of the need is staggering. And then all of these transactions that you're seeing here, they're happening every day. We need to improve the bottom line by automating with far more detail and granularity how these transactions can be improved. And this makes airports run more smoothly, factories become more automated, fewer delays, less downtime, reduce traffic congestion on our roadways, which I would love. I would love in San Jose. But it's making our experiences at stadiums more safe and fun, railways safer for commuters, and in agriculture. It kind of spans all industries. So this is kind of what we're seeing from a bird's eye view from NVIDIA. Our ecosystem of partners. Oh, sorry. Can you go to the next slide? Thank you. Our ecosystem of partners. This slide shows you how widely adopted Vision AI is. So we have really big customers. These are just to name a few, so I could show you what we've done across several industries. But really, and this is some of the most valuable for processing transactions. We have an ecosystem of something like 1,400 ISVs lined up in our Metropolis partner program, and we're selecting only the very best to partner with BCD in order to deliver these kind of validated solutions that you'll hear about from them. So as you can understand, we're seeing so many companies devote their interest and their formal strategy of go-to-market into Vision AI, and really just investing in GPU consumption to make this happen. So like think about for industrial and supply chain things like Procter and Gamble, PepsiCo, BMW, Siemens, they're buying this up. Retail innovators like Kroger, Infosys, I've seen Timberland, that lots of retail innovators from finance retail to let's say, banks, storefronts, grocery chains, retail locations like shopping malls, and then like transit airports like Heathrow and Pearson Airport. So you'll kind of see them as you go along, and then I will go to the next. We'll stay here. Yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit of Vision AI architecture. I know that you'll get a really nice understanding when Douglas from IronYun will talk a little bit more about this, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like if you haven't sold Vision AI before or you haven't sold security solutions. Really, analyzing IoT sensors requires a lot of data input, and in order to manage both the camera's input and the AI workflows, there's an important need for robust infrastructure to capture, to store, to understand, to process the data in a timely manner. And when we're talking about Vision AI, we're talking about 24/7, always on, real-time recognition of things that aren't exactly what we'd like to see. Maybe there's an anomaly and maybe somebody has slipped accidentally and fallen. So these are things that we'd like to pick up in the spaces really quickly. And this is the kind of infrastructure that needs to be set up in order to enable that. This slide, really, we're partnering with BCD, and this is, I wanted to just, so now you understand that we're seeing the opportunity just from our ecosystem to customers that are popping up to just even trends in the market associated with cameras and pixels. But now I wanted to show you why we're working specifically with BCD. We understand the complexities in setting up a POC when it comes to AI solutions. They can be complex. We understand that finding an app partner, just that step, can be really challenging. I mean, like I said, even in our own ecosystem, we have over 1,400 ISVs that are part of our partner program. So it's like, how do you go out to the field and find the best app partner to work with? And then you have to vet them, then you have to trial, then you have to set up demos. It's just really time consuming. We also understand the complexities of finding the appropriate hardware. So you have to coordinate over, sometimes it's weeks, months, maybe even longer than a year to find the appropriate hardware to fit your customers' needs. And guess what? We're looking to super simplify that with BCD and their validated solutions. We understand that it's a super high cost, and there's a level of risk that comes into play when we're talking about the investment in finding and procuring and coordinating with hardware partners. There also needs to be a high level of expertise required. So maybe in your company, you may not have somebody that's super well informed with security solutions, or maybe they are, and part of the customer deck has like a retail partner. This is where a high level of expertise is required to, again, vet the ISV, find the hardware, understand how to install it at the end of the day. And then, just like massively time consuming to put all of this together and stand up a POC and a trial request. So with that said, I wanted to pass it on to BCD in order to introduce this very easy, quick selling motion that's been set up for you.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, Sarah. Great background and kind of setting the stage for the latter half of the presentation today. So, Sarah just mentioned it perfectly. It's very time consuming, high cost to put together these proof of concepts, making sure that the application works within the specific segment or vertical that you are currently selling into or want to move into. So through partnering with NVIDIA, we've taken a lot of that upfront work away and made it just, as it says on the slide, a simple way to sell a solution. So the idea behind this collaboration was to allow our partners, our ecosystem partners, the opportunity to realize sales revenue faster, simplify that sales process. And all of this is inclusive of ongoing sales support. And what I mean by that is BCD taking the time to vet the solution, but also working with you in your specific project, knowing that, right, a retail location A is never the same as retail location B, as much as we want it to be. There are nuances there. The ongoing sales support from BCD ensures that what you need to get done for your customer, we're the backstop to help support you and make sure that what is sold and implemented is up 24/7 and can be relied on. And the best part about all of this is it's available to the integrated partners that we have, again, backed by NVIDIA, and then with strategic partners such as IronYun. So Kellyanne, we can pop to the next slide and really just take a minute to see, okay, what does this look like? Let's boil it a little bit and understand. So really, BCD, we've partnered with NVIDIA to offer customers a combination of compute, storage, software, all knowing that it's together, pre-validated. It's a solution, not just a piece of hardware that solves a common need across customers and different verticals, industries alike. So we've been working on this for, I don't know, 7+ years with NVIDIA. And it's one thing that we're understanding that these types of solutions, these types of apps, they're only increasing in demand from an end user. So we wanted to make sure that you had the confidence to sell, to provide these solutions, whether it's in some sort of public safety or security app. We understand the need to be flexible, the need to be that shoulder to lean on, that expertise, that partner for your end customer. We want to extend that trust, that solution through the upfront work and validate the hardware, so that whether you're selling into a retail facility, you're working on a smart city, or you're at your local K-12 campus, what you're providing is an actual solution. It has been validated, it has been vetted, and they're all using similar components that are discrete GPUs or NVIDIA GPUs that are embedded into these systems. And these configs are all validated within the NVIDIA Metropolis lab, depending on ISV that you're using. In this instance, IronYun. All of that has already been there. We've already done deployments. We've understood how this will work. And that lab helps determine the performance metrics. So regardless of the size of your implementation, your project, you have the full confidence knowing that it's already been vetted. So maybe if we go to the next slide, we can look at just an example deployment, and specifically for license plate recognition, again, highlighting the opportunity with IronYun. So this is just a simple public parking using license plate, right? Usually when you see it, it's okay. It's $200,000 potential opportunity. I have 20 streams for license plate recognition, 200 channels. I have to install it, obviously, and have the infrastructure. So this sales opportunity is kind of an example of how you can sell into a large deployment using those rack servers, having systems that can grow and expand as the needs of the opportunity expand. And this deployment is just looking at adding license plate detection and general video management software for object and movement recognition. So when you really say, okay, that $200,000 opportunity is just for object and movement recognition and the system to power that, it actually can be significantly larger if you increase more apps, or more apps are required by the end user. So taking this example and moving to the next slide, a larger deployment can actually land a deal that, we go to the next slide, yep, can include all of this. So here, it's not just the parking management, but we're looking at traffic management, curbside management, management of tolls. So this is an example of what a deal could look like if we enable applications, including those specific opportunities as highlighted on the screen. So this is more of an example of a smart city solution pack. So there are thousands of cameras deployed here to help streamline traffic flow, allow, as everyone would dream if you commute every day, frictionless traffic, safety, pedestrian safety, all that. And each one of these bullet points on the screen, they're actually an app that have already been curated by an ISV for specific specialized deployment in this example, a public space or a smart city. And NVIDIA has all of these ecosystem partners. So as Sarah mentioned earlier on, right, they have thousands of ISV Metropolis ISV partners, and they have solutions built around this that have been vetted. So I know here we're talking about smart cities, but this transcends that. It's roadways, seaports, airports, banking, retail, manufacturing, all of that. So understanding, right, that we all have different projects that we're working on, small, large, in between, we wanted to ensure that there's a flexibility and an ability to accommodate to the end customer needs by offering a modular approach so you can build on as they grow or decide budget frees up that they want to add and implement something new. So when you're looking at these types of integrations, you don't need to pay for a full scale integration right away. We can actually handpick and select capabilities that are right for them at the right time. And because of all the prep work that Sarah had mentioned, we already have the ability to understand, okay, these systems are not built just for X, they're built for X, Y, and Z, or have the ability to scale up that way. So that's what I kind of meant when we say we can identify future workload, future opportunity when looking at this. And I know I just highlighted quite a bit, but Sarah, was there anything that you wanted to kind of add on at this junction?
Yeah, no, it's I really just wanted to super highlight, if you toggle on the previous slide, the opportunity that we kind of showed. So this 200K, I will tell you that it's on the lower side of what the sales opportunity can actually look like. Really, we wanted to show you what it would look like to sell just one app. And this is a license plate recognition app, which, as you can imagine, license plate recognition, it could be in any parking lot, in any location. So if you're thinking through your customers, who has parking lots, who has areas where license plate recognition can be super beneficial, it can kind of spread across, a lot of different customers. So remember the number 200K plus just one app. So if you toggle to the next slide, you can almost squint your eyes and see that license plate recognition on that left-hand side. That's just one item. And what we're seeing is that when customers are starting to scale, they might ask for your first sale might honestly be just one or two apps. But guess what? We're seeing the trend, and Doug can back me up on this. We're seeing that customers are realizing the benefits and how better their operations are getting. So their costs are going lower. Their operational expenses are lower. What they're experiencing, if they're a retail store, they're realizing like 30 to 50% better returns. So these are areas where, as you can see, if you're selling into a city, any of these apps, they will be chosen. So that 200K marked with just one of those apps, you can see that, sky's the limit with what you're able to sell into customers. So I just wanted to kind of open your eyes, and maybe you're starting to drool a little bit at this opportunity that exists, and how quickly you can close out on deals and kind of reach your revenue goals earlier.
Yeah, thank you for that. So that is pretty important. I got overly excited talking about the endless capabilities. So kind of just building on what Sarah was highlighting, the license plate recognition, that's one app. Here across all different industries, right, there are 200 plus apps within the NVIDIA ecosystem that can be derived or brought into very specific verticals and industries. So it's an opportunity, right, to look at incremental growth, the opportunity to hit goals faster, to grow the business faster. And again, depending on which vertical we're working in, there is that opportunity there for that incremental growth. So thank you for keeping me honest on that. Kellyanne, if we can move to the next slide. So highlighting then, what does this all mean in terms of, okay, we've talked about how BCD has validated this. We've worked with NVIDIA. We've worked with IronYun. What does that mean? We have AI video appliances stocked and available to be shipped to for whatever project you're working on. And depending on the use case, right, they're all built or designed to eventually scale up if needed. So As you can kind of highlight here, and I'm not going to dive into all of them one by one. We can send this out or distribute it after. The opportunity, right, is to understand, okay, here's where we are today. Here's the solution that you need to provide to your customer. Let's work and identify what that is, but also understand, to Sarah's point earlier, in the future, we may add additional apps. We may scale what the capability of this solution is. So we don't want to pigeonhole and then have to review something in 6 months, a year, 2 years, and say, time to upgrade, rip it out, and get something bigger in. All of these are built with in mind, knowing we're going to have some sort of expansion and scale. So if we move on to the next slide, really what we want to highlight is we have the catalog of solutions, we have the sales support, and right, for BCD, one of our main pillars is just trying to have that simple buying experience. But really, at the end of the day, what we want to do is help solve challenges that your sales teams face by providing solutions, ensuring that what we have here is right, ready, and can be implemented quickly for your solution. So we've heard struggles about closing deals quickly, right? The complexity of standing up a proof of concept. It takes a lot of time, effort, coordination. With these solutions, you will be able to close those deals quicker because you already have that turnkey solution available to you, meaning you can realize and receive that revenue earlier. So the whole thought process behind this and this partnership, right, is to ensure that everyone has a frictionless buying, but also frictionless integration experience to make your day-to-day project management easier. So when we zoom out, at the end of the day, BCD, we're here to help drive the digital transformation from standard infrastructure into automated infrastructure. And for our partners, really, sometimes it could be a fragmented experience. We're trying to understand, how do we deploy this solution? How do we configure it? What do we need? We can be that single point of purchase or a single point of support that may not be readily available today. So that's where we come in to provide that frictionless opportunity. And we're at the heart of this with NVIDIA, with IronYun. We're excited by the opportunity. We think for everyone involved and understands the true value of expansion that this will provide. We're excited to be at the heart of it. And I know I mentioned today a lot of the catalog of solutions, the sales support, the opportunity to add on additional apps, but also in this simple buying experience. One thing that BCD does is also help with preloading the actual software, making sure the system arrives pre-configured how you would need it to be, whether that's a custom image or specific protocols implemented. Again, at the end of the day, what BCD does is we want to provide that frictionless opportunity for you to extend to your end customer. So we want to be leaned on as just overall support. I know it says sales support, but overall partnership support. So I kind of got ahead of it, getting into the next slide, Kellyanne, about the value. But at the end of the day, we understand there's a lot of opportunity for various hardware out there. Right? You just go online and you see hundreds, if not thousands of options. What we provide is that simple experience for these Vision AI solutions. The hardware is already tested, validated. It's done in-house out of our headquarters just outside of Chicago. And with all of that, we also guarantee that solution, based on the calculations, based on the information provided to us, we guarantee that it will work for your application. Again, just another step that we take to kind of remove the stress, remove the liability from our partners. And we have that extensive pre and post sales support. And the one nice thing is the turnaround time. So when we say it's a simple buying experience, it should also be a simple product reception experience. We're averaging 3 to 5 days from receipt of PO to getting the system out fully configured, with the whole aim of just allowing our partners to recognize their revenue faster. So that's really what I wanted to cover on my end, Kellyanne. So thank you for handling that. I know we're going to now kind of reference back the opportunity earlier. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Douglas from IronYun to take it from here. So thanks, Douglas.
Thanks very much. Yeah, we are the ISV as part of this solution. So when people say you have a number of different applications to automate kind of standard existing infrastructure, IronYun provides a platform. It's called the Video AI Vision Platform, and it has a few dozen discrete applications. So this is an example of the interface, and what we're showing here is that we're connected to public earth cams, and we are tagging data in real time so that when it comes time to search, we're just searching across metadata. So in this case, searching for a scene that has a car, a bike, a dog, and a backpack going across a week worth of data, and it instantaneously pulls up a shot with a dog, a backpack, and the bicycle is way in the background, occupying only a few pixels, and then there's a car way in the background there. So that's how fast search can happen, and it's way accelerated relative to manual video search. So that's actually one of the biggest value propositions of IronYun's Video platform. It accelerates manual video search. So that's huge, and that applies across every application: LPR, intrusion detection, vehicle make, model, etc. So from a broad perspective, most of the installed cameras lack intelligence today, which means they're effectively unmonitored. Video search is manual and time-consuming and labor-intensive. Video is not available to the business, whether it's retail, whether it's a city trying to document conditions at a particular exit or intersection to justify getting Federal Infrastructure Act dollars. And there are too many point products. Most of our competition tries to solve a single problem, whereas if you're an airport, a retail store, a city, you've got a bunch of problems, and you'd much rather solve those problems with a single platform. That single pane of glass, it's a cliche, but it really matters to the end user customer. If you can automate across that infrastructure with multiple applications on a single platform, it creates value for the customer. Next slide, please. So if you've got cameras and your VMS in there, essentially what Video does is it adds automation, intelligence, and AI into that existing infrastructure, extending its useful life, improving its ROI. And every single analytic function that we provide is available a la carte. So you only have to license for the applications that you want to solve for. And every single one of those applications that the Video platform supports does three things. It monitors and alerts in real time. It enables video search in seconds, and it enables you to gather data off of the video stream. So it's real-time, forensic, and data-focused applications that you can drop in to existing infrastructure. It's an open platform that works with any IP camera. Next. So again, very comprehensive, functional, real-time, forensic, and data, accurate in the real world, open for any IP camera, and it's a la carte. So a lot of solutions will embed an AI application such as LPR or intrusion detection into a camera. But if you want to change that analytic or add a different analytics function, you have to change or add cameras, which can be really expensive. With Video, you can use license plate recognition for your parking lot during the day for access control. That authorized license plate comes in, will automatically open the gate with integration with the access control system. And then at night, when nobody's supposed to be coming into the parking lot, you can switch the analytic to intrusion detection to monitor for intruders and unauthorized access. You can do that on schedule. You can do that on the fly. You can apply multiple analytics applications per camera. So it's extremely flexible, extremely broadly functional, and it's also scalable from dozens to hundreds to thousands of cameras. And it's actually very simple to deploy. And it's even simpler to deploy on the pre-validated and pre-integrated and preloaded solution stack with BCD. Next slide. So this is pretty much the full list of what Video offers out of the box. There's a lot here, but the idea is if you're working with a city, if you're working with an airport, if you're working with a retail store or a manufacturer, you can pick and choose the applications that solve the immediate problems. And this is very much a land and expand platform. Typically, our customers start with a handful, 5 video analytics and video search applications, intrusion detection, LPR, video search, maybe PPE monitoring, maybe smoke and fire is important, maybe a full parking management application which integrates license plates, vehicle make, model, and intrusion detection to understand the boundaries of those parking spaces. The cool thing about parking, just as an aside, Video works with cameras, so it doesn't require all this infrastructure that you can only build into indoor parking lots with lights and sensors. So Video works outdoors in outdoor parking lots and rooftop parking lots, as well as in indoor parking lots. So that is a huge value proposition for organizations like casinos, who have a lot of parking that they can't otherwise manage without putting something like video intelligence in. So, and once again, everything that you see here operates in real-time monitoring and alerting, video search and investigation, and gathering data for business intelligence applications. I think next slide. Oh yeah. So this is the reason why NVIDIA and BCD chose IronYun to present to you today. We are an extremely well validated and well recognized and awarded solution in the market. IronYun has been in business for 8 years, which means that our AI is extremely accurate in the real world. In fact, NVIDIA says in that middle quote there, out of hundreds of solutions we've worked with, Video is one of a handful that ranks highest in terms of platform maturity and driving real world customer value. IDC recognizes our company as a major player in video analytics and video analytics as a service. They've talked to our customer base. They've validated our accuracy. They note that it's common for our customers to add additional video analytics functions over time. And we're also noted for low cost of adoption, ease of installation. And it's just a good decision for enterprises that have cameras, have VMS, and want to upgrade to advanced analytics that incorporate proven and accurate AI. And then here at the bottom are our ISC West New Product Showcase Awards, most recently on the right-hand side for loss prevention in retail applications. So really battle-tested solution. You can have faith that when you put this in with your customers, it's gonna work for them and create value for them. Next. Okay, this is back to Dan and Kellyanne.
Yep, thank you for that. Douglas. I appreciate it. So on this slide, going to kind of breeze through it because we're all probably laughing at ourselves saying, all right, yep, I know how to uncover opportunities. I just need the information so I can go out and close that business. But really what to look out for in terms of the conversation starters, it's what Sarah was mentioning at the top of the presentation. What's your future end state? How do you want to get there? Odds are with the hundreds of ISV partners that they have, there's already an opportunity to bundle that solution in or build out a solution that has it in the roadmap in the future. So up on the screen, we have a few conversation starters, a few types of qualifying questions, but all of these are relatively straightforward. So moving on to the next slide, Kellyanne. Here, I just wanted to explain kind of what we're looking at when we're already looking at or selling into those OEM solutions. So as it was mentioned earlier, nature of the beast with video is it requires fast processing, massive amounts of storage, a lot of workload. When we add in these AI apps, such as classification, object detection, license plate recognition, now you're going to the need for a powerful, fast, reliable system only increases. So the OEM teams, they've helped solve the problem across a dozen, maybe a few more industries. That includes airports, ports, retail, cities, stadiums, smart cities, all the ones we've mentioned previously. So when we add in the GPU and we do that testing, we ensure that we provide a more powerful mix that enables those AI solutions. So when we're talking with the customer, they're looking to implement whether it's safety security to their operations or a way to monetize the data that they're collecting, instead of just selling and providing that standard video management system VMS type sale. There's a lot more upside, sometimes 3x, maybe even more, to selling the typical platform plus a system that has some GPU accelerated solution already built in for Vision AI solutions. So even if we've already, done the cameras, we have the storage, there is that opportunity to go back and add more compute, increase certain automation workflows, and just build out the overall end user solution. So typically, right, we rely on the solution architects, distributions to merge all of that together. But here with BCD, with NVIDIA, with IronYun, we've elected to take up a lot of that front workload and just provide these end-to-end solutions. So kind of wrapping up and moving to the next slide. And before I probably pass it off to Sarah, just in terms of next steps, how do we get started? Feel free to book a time with us, reach out to myself or Kellyanne directly. There are sales guides already available to download. I know Doug, Sarah as well, if you guys have questions for them. At the end of the day, we're all here to help support your endeavors, growing your business, winning those projects, and expanding your market share. So thank you so much for taking the time. And Sarah, I'll pass it off to you if there was anything else that you wanted to add.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being part of this today, and I see some familiar faces that have joined us, and that's great. I really wanted to emphasize that last point where we are with BCD and NVIDIA, we're spending the time to come and work with your marketing teams, work with your sales teams, help you train up your sales teams, as well as create sales enablement assets, pass along BCD sales enablement assets, just making sure that your customers are aware of this offering. We have really nice consultation packages that are kind of quick and easy to pick up and roll out. Some of you are already working with us on that. So yeah, it's just a really handy extra thing that we're offering, just because we know that it is a newer market, and we know that messaging hasn't been super, maybe it hasn't been super thought through yet. So we're here to help, not just on the sales side, but also sales enablement, training, and then also on the marketing side. And then with that, Kelly, I'll let you start wrapping up unless there are any questions that are outstanding. And for anybody who has questions and may not want to put it in the chat, you're welcome to also email us.
Yeah,
and
just
please,
before, oh, go ahead.
welcome any questions.
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead.
And as a heads up for anybody that joined late or was not able to make it from your team today, we will be sending out a recording of the session today, as well as a few follow-up resources just to kind of give some insights as to case studies and use case instances where we've really seen AI impact a business and allowed them to grow. So just be on the lookout for that. That will be coming to you shortly. And if you had requested to speak with anybody regarding any upcoming AI projects, I will be sure to connect you with the right team member as well. So at this point, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask them.
There's one that was popped in the chat, Kellyanne, for the sales guides. Were those sent out, or will that be a follow-up? Or if individuals looking for those sales guides, where could we find those?
I will send those out to everybody after we wrap up today.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and I encourage you to get some time and have a dedicated meeting with your account manager at BCD. Go through your customers, those that you've already sold VMS solutions into or not. Talk with them and uncover these opportunities that exist. We know how to kind of vet them out. We know how to kind of spot when a customer or a like customer that we've already sold into. Maybe NVIDIA can provide sales references and what that end deployment may look like. We also have tons of testimonials from customers across all the industries so that you're able to pitch better and just more curated to those accounts. So yeah, just ongoing conversation, increased conversation with your account manager here. Let's give it a minute to see if people have any outstanding questions.
We have one question from Chris who said, who would I be able to schedule product demos with for end users?
Through BCD, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say through BCD, Chris, and then if it's specific with IronYun, Douglas, I'm sure you guys would probably would lead that. So yeah, Chris, feel free to reach out to us, Douglas as well, if it's IronYun specific, just so that way you have the true expert.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions, we will let you guys get back to your days. And I appreciate all of you taking the time to join us today. So thank you and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.